My name is Michael Vera. I grew up in Little Italy. I lived in the same apartment for 66 years. And happy to be an Italian American. The neighborhood, which was once die-hard Italian, has now disintegrated greatly. Little Italy that once was, may be on the map, but it'll change. But in our minds and in our heritage will never change. My grandparents are both from Italy. They came here in March of 1897, settled in 169 Mulberry Street, and we have lived in this apartment since 1897. The situation of us staying here has gone to the courts quite a few times, but the fact that I'm a primary resident, born in the apartment, in 1950, the landlord, of course, has decided that we should go to court, but the courts were basically on our side and we won. So I guess that's one less person he has the right to throw out. Since my grandparents came here when they were paying $11 and $8, of course that's a long time off, and wages were much lower, maybe $5 a week, maybe. But considering nowadays that the apartment that I'm living in, which is now still a rent-controlled apartment that I pay $87.25 for, the people above me are the people that are forcing us out, when of course they're paying $3,500 and $5,200 in the same building. In all pre-war buildings, there's what they call a right of succession. In other words, if you were living here before 1970, you have the right to stay in your apartment without the landlord harassing you. Though that takes place quite often, they're not supposed to harass you in any way, force you to move. My grandmother died, we were still here, we were paying just about $65 a month rent for 5 rooms. Our rent increase is very, very little. Why? Because I would think if you want modern day conveniences, you pay modern day rent. But unfortunately, we don't have modern day conveniences. Let me see, not that I should need it, but in case you want to put a hairdryer or blow dryer and an air conditioner at the same time, you have to go all around the apartment, unplug everything else, and just put your air conditioner on. Maybe your television at the same time, so you have a choice. As time goes on, the rent has now gone up. It hasn't gone up that much. It went from $65 to $87.25. While the people above me, as I said before, are paying $3,800, $4,800, and $52 on the top floor. I live here. If anything happens to me, my children can live here without any fear of being thrown out. That's the city and state law. So I thank God for New York State and New York City for both providing the rights of succession and keeping you in the family. Again, part of your heritage. You can't put your television and an air conditioner all at the same time. So therefore, I do not expect my landlord to fix and put everything up to par. The burden should be a little bit on me, but the greater burden should be on him to fix and to accommodate me, a senior citizen. The newcomers are basically college students, okay? What most landlords do, they go to any of the colleges that are around, basically NYU. They approach the students that are there. They give them a 4-year lease. There are 2 or 3 students together. They pay exorbitant rents such as $5,200 and $4,800. There are 2 or 3 students together, which once was a family building, has now become a building of transits. They come, they stay 4 years, and they disappear. But unfortunately, this is the new and present face of Little Italy. It has disappeared very quickly. At one time, Little Italy had, its population was close to 1,500,000 people. As time went on again in the 50s, people were more educated and wanted some more conveniences, and they just decided to move on. And again, it was probably Brooklyn, and then probably the next place was Bensonhurst, where you had your own home. And the conveniences they had were basically their own parking spot. Everybody wanted their own parking spot. So at this point in time, unfortunately, especially the youth, have abandoned most of their forefathers and have gone for, so they say, better and greater things. But I don't think so. We're still here to stay. And just because you have such modern conveniences, maybe parking spots, maybe an elevator, but for some reason, somewhere, somehow, you always want to come back to your heritage. I don't know for how much longer, but I'm still going to stay. No matter what anyone puts in my way, I'm still going to be here. A woman only left her apartment in a wedding gown or a coffin, but I guess my choice is the coffin.